Chapter 1. The boy who complained. There was once a boy named Rock. He grew up in a small town, surrounded by people who always compared him to others. Look at your cousin, they would say. He gets the best grades. See your neighbor's son? He already started a business. Why can't you be more like them? And slowly, Rock began to believe he was unlucky. He complained every day. He complained about his parents not being rich. He complained about his school not being good enough. He complained about life being unfair. But never once did he ask himself, what can I do with what I have? Years passed. He stayed in the same cycle. Nothing changed. Because complaints don't build a future. Chapter 2. The encounter. One day, after failing yet another exam, Rock walked out of school angry. He sat under a tree, mumbling, blaming everyone, his teachers, his family, even God. Suddenly, an old man sat next to him. He had kind eyes and a calm smile. Young boy, the old man said, why do you look so frustrated? Because life is unfair. Rock shouted. Everyone else has something I don't. Money, talent, luck. And me? Nothing. The old man listened carefully. Then he said, let me tell you a story. The story of a man who had nothing, but built everything. Chapter 3. The story within the story. The old man began, many years ago, there was a poor farmer named Yasin. He had no education, no money, and no powerful friends. But he had something most people ignore. He had his two hands, his brain, and his heart. At first, Yasin complained, just like you. He cursed the sun for being too hot. He cursed the rain for being too heavy. He cursed his neighbors for being luckier. But one day, while sitting in despair, he realized, if I die tomorrow, I'll die complaining. But if I try, maybe, just maybe, I'll die building. From that day, he decided no more complaints. Only action. He woke up earlier. He worked harder on his small farm. He learned from observing others. He started selling vegetables in the market. Slowly, coin by coin, he built savings. Years passed. He grew into one of the most respected men in his village, not because life gave him gifts, but because he stopped complaining and started focusing on his own journey. Chapter 4. The lesson. The old man looked at Rock and said, do you see? Life doesn't care about your complaints. The world doesn't stop moving because you are sad or unlucky, but the moment you focus on what you can do, life begins to change. Rock sat in silence. For the first time, he realized how much of his life was wasted in blaming others. Chapter 5. Rock's journey. From that day, Rock decided to test the advice. He started small. Instead of complaining about bad teachers, he began teaching himself from books and free resources. Instead of blaming his family for not being rich, he started a part-time job after school. Instead of envying others, he clapped for them, then asked, what can I learn from them? At first, the results were slow. But small progress is still progress. Weeks turned into months. Months into years. Rock stopped comparing his chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. He focused only on his own path. And then, something magical happened. He grew. He improved. He built. People who once mocked him began to respect him. The same town that once pitted him began to use him as an example for their children. Chapter 6. The reflection. Years later, Rock met the old man again. This time, he wasn't the same frustrated boy. He had confidence, skills, and hope. He bowed to the old man and said, you were right. Complaints are heavy chains. Once I dropped them, I could finally walk forward. The old man smiled and said, never forget, my son, your journey is yours alone. The moment you compare too much, you lose your way. Focus on yourself, and life will reward your patience. This is not just Rock's story. It is your story too. Every time you complain, you lose energy. Every time you compare, you waste focus. But every time you take one small action for yourself, You are moving forward. Remember this, backhand index pointing right, the world owes you nothing. Backhand index pointing right, life will never be perfectly fair. Backhand index pointing right, but your journey is yours to walk. Stop complaining about life, stop comparing yourself to others. Focus only on your own journey, and you'll be surprised at how far you can go.